Standing tall mountain pose, hence Namaste Mudra. Reaching the arms up above, clasping the right wrist and leaning to the side, stretching the waist and the entire side of the body. Coming up to the archetype I am. And taking the other wrist, leaning to the side, stretching the waist and warming the body. Coming up and gently place your hands behind your head and arcing back into the miracle bend. And then pulling the head to the chest, elbows by the ears. Twice more, inhaling, arcing back, opening the throat and chest. And exhale, pulling the chest forward, toning the thyroid. Again, inhaling, arcing back, opening bright. And exhale, bowing the head to the heart, stretching the neck. And coming into the warrior pose, the warrior archetype. Right leg back, left leg lunging parallel. Weave the fingers and stretch the index and thumb up into the assertive mudra. Bringing the hands down and the back leg into runner pose. Float the arms up, pulling the scapula to the waist, and find a steady, soft gaze as you strengthen the front leg. Bringing your hands down, float the back leg up to warrior 3 or T-pose balance. As you can, bring your hands to Namaste Mudra in front of your heart, flexing the heels strong to draw the energy back into the core. Soft, steady gaze with the eyes as you balance. And release the leg and hand into your forward bend. And feel the destroyer archetype in the forward bend, a letting go. Dangling your torso out of your hips, letting the head draw down to the earth, and then release your hands fully and begin to round yourself up. Taking the warrior pose on the other side, left leg back turned out, the front leg parallel lunging. Weave the fingers, index and thumb stretch up assertively. Arcing forward, creating a crescent moon in the spine as the vertebrae melt inwards. Bringing the hands down and the back leg into runner pose, floating the arms up. Reaching the breastbone forward and the hips toward the heel. And then hands to the floor, float your back leg and finding your balance into T-pose. And coming up to stand. Stretching the arms back up into the miracle bend, arcing back, opening the throat, swan dive forward into your forward bend, and preparing for the half moon or the seeker archetype. Stretching the right leg back, turning it out, and then taking the right arm up above, stacked over the left, turning out the entire side of the body, reaching into your potential. And bring the hand down and the leg, and taking the half moon on the other side. Stretch the left leg up, and then bring the left arm to stack over the right, reaching in all directions as you find a steady balance. Releasing back into your forward bend. And gradually rounding up to stand, moving into goddess or queen pose. Take a wide squat, hands over the crown, elbows wide, feeling your regal or royal nature. Taking the arms wide, opening the heart, splaying the fingers as broad as possible. And then hands down, come to straight legs. Take your feet inwards, hands at the hips as you fold forward into fan pose. And bring your hands to your ankles as you pull your head down and through. Opening the sitting bones and breathing into a wide lower back. Bringing your hands to your hips and arcing back up to stand and taking the king or the chair. Legs together, sitting or squatting into the heels, and reach your arms out of your heart and forward. Bring your hands Namaste Mudra and twisting to one side, placing the elbow outside the knee, churning at the waist, broadening your chest and looking upwards. Come back to your center, reaching the arms forward and the hips and heels back. And taking your other side, Namaste Mudra, twisting the elbow to the outside of the knee, churning at the waist, gazing upwards. And coming back to your center, lengthening the arms and crisscrossing your elbows, squatting down, and take one leg and wrap or vine it around the lower, finding Garudasana or the lover archetype, in love with life. Pull the elbows far from the knees and then begin perching. Rest your elbows on your knees. Unravel, taking the other side, wrap the other elbow on top and the hands. Take one leg and vine it around, pulling the inner thighs and your core strong and long. And then bowing forward, perching your elbows onto your knees. Unravel and release. Coming down onto your knees for the camel or the server archetype. Stretching your arms right up above your hips and reaching one hand to the ankle, stretching and arcing backwards, feeling the fullness of who you are. Take the other side, reach one hand to your ankle, the other arm up. And then both arms over the knees, hands to your waist, pulling the elbows back, almost disappearing them as you take your full back bend. Arcing the chest open, possibly bringing the hands to the ankles, finding a full arc. And then resting into child's pose, completely softening and letting go. Letting the blood flow to the head, bowing the head down to the earth. Breathing into your lower back. And soften your ankles and your shin bones into the earth. Moving into pigeon pose. Come to all fours, bringing the right knee forward and arc up out of your hips. And then begin to sink into your hips, bowing your head down and forward. And feel your weight drop into your hips, stretching the largest muscles of the body. And here, listen to your integrity, the saint archetype. Coming back to all fours, taking the left knee up in between your hands, arcing up and away from your hips. Open the throat, move the spine inward, and then melt forward. Completely let go, letting your breath help to stretch your hips open. Now coming onto your back, preparing for laughing baby or child's pose. Take your legs wide to the side, holding onto the little toe sides of the feet, bending your knees deeply down, broadening your back. And then take your legs straight, holding onto the inner thighs and pressing through the heels in the child archetype. And now preparing for inversion, move the legs together and into a plow. Bring your hands up your back, all the fingers upwards, and float your legs over your shoulders into a full inversion, a shoulder stand. And this is the Fool archetype, seeing life from a new perspective. And bringing your legs back down into the plow and slowly rolling your spine onto the floor and releasing your legs down, resting in Shavasana. Palms up, letting the legs naturally turn out, completely feeling a state of receptivity, a letting go, a listening. And now moving into fish pose. Legs together, palms underneath the thighs facing upwards. And arc your upper chest. And gently place the crown of the head onto the floor. Bringing the tongue to the roof of the mouth and directing your gaze upwards to the crown of the head. The Magician archetype, your ability to transform. And laying the head down and coming back into Shavasana, your resting pose. Completely let the body melt into the earth. Just noticing what passes through the body, the mind, the thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Notice with a sense of curiosity and detachment. coming to a seated position, the yogi archetype. Just placing your hands on your knees with your palms up, your shoulders over your hips, your head floating on your spine. And we'll begin pranayama, the breathing exercises. We'll be taking an inhale for 4 counts, holding the breath for 4 counts, then exhaling for 4 counts. So to begin, let all the breath out of the body. And now inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Just breathing natural, noticing the fullness, the greatness you truly are. And coming back, bringing your hands to Namaste Mudra and bowing your head to your own heart. Namaste.